In the top right corner, the yellow Protoss, Shaky. And in the top left corner, the red Zerg, Jaco. Now, welcome back to the BSL Season 2 as we continue on into Season 2 in the top tier bracket. Shaky now sending a probe across the map, very characteristic. We've seen Jaco drop a narrow series to on the attack. His back is to the wall in the BSL now. If he loses this, he's out of the BSL Season 2. And might have to defend his position in the top tier bracket against the winner of the bottom tier. But Jaco, you know, he's got other plans. He doesn't want to go down easy. He's the underdog against the BSL champion here, Shaky, who's putting a proxy pylon on the top right of this hatchery in the natural. And we see Jaco, he's sending the drone, he finds the pylon. Going after the probe now. And we see here a drone pull from Jaco. Taking this seriously. But he needs a DPS down that pylon in most of the drones. Instead of overcommitting on the probe. Splits him now. And Shaky is just abandoning this. No photon was even planted. We see back here the gateway forge opener. The nexus behind it. So a little bit of a proxy pylon fake out from Shaky. Invests 100 minerals, sent a probe across the map. But when you consider this lost mining time, these drones DPSing down the pylon, it's not so bad. Cybernetic score now coming down for Shaky. Third hatchery for Jaco. And I anticipate this game will move into the mid-game now. Shaky just playing some mind games. Puts a pylon down to wall off that natural location. The returning BSL champion has high expectations for this season. $100 on the line. But more so, it's about bragging rights. As Shaky wants to solidify himself as a dominant champion. To go down as one of the pound-for-pound greats in BSL history. Photon cannon at that natural location. So we see the respect from Shaky for Jaco's potential. Potential baneling bust, perhaps. He knows Jaco's reputation. And similarly, on Jaco's side of the map, he's putting a spine crawler down. Because our boy here, Jaco, doesn't really have any scouting of this natural expansion, so he doesn't really know what's coming for him. So therefore, he's forced to make a safety spine. Because of that lack of scouting. Queen pops out now for Jaco. A little bit late on that inject. You see one go off, two injects go off. Third base here. Now online for Jaco. Let's see if he spends that next 150 mineral on a third queen. Electing to make some drones. And meanwhile, on Shaky's side of the map, he's putting a Robo Bay down now behind this. Getting a Stalker out. And now he's going actually into Starport tech as well. That's something we haven't seen so much from Shaky in the BSL. He tends to be a ground Protoss player predominantly. So let's see what he gets done with this starport here. But the timing, it's a little bit late for an early-ish Oracle attack. It's coming after the Robo Bay. So we'll see what his plan is for that. Chrono Boost goes down on the Robo as the Observer starts coming out now. And meanwhile, Jaco slightly pulling ahead on the workers, as is expected by the Zerg, who has 3 hatcheries up to a 2-base Protoss. And now we see actually a Spore here starting up at the third base, and a Spore in the natural. So Jaco is protected against this Oracle that's incoming. But we see 3 more gates behind this, so it's going to be a bit of Oracle play and harass. But it's not going to be an air toss army. It's going to go back into ground force. And Jaco now pumped out a couple safety roaches. Sending a Ling scout across the map, scouting the natural. Wants to check out that third base location as well. Sees that Shaky has no third at the 5-minute mark. And Jaco wants to keep tabs on that because if no third base comes up in the next minute or so, that could definitely signify a 2-base push coming his way from the Protoss player. And now Shaky's actually pulling ahead in the workers. So Jaco has stopped his drone production momentarily. More pylons and photons coming down for Shaky. Really securing this natural expansion with a second battery and a photon. No plans from Shaky to secure a third base even. And you gotta wonder, I mean, there's not many troops on the map here for Jaco. Well, actually, hold that thought. He does have a decent amount of roaches out now. Way more troops than Shaky has, to be honest. If Jaco uses those roaches to stop Shaky from getting a third base up, that could be very powerful. You know, Shaky could already have that third nexus down with a battery and some photons behind it, protecting it. But instead, he's powering up. And it's going to be tough to get a third base out now that these roaches are coming across the map. The Oracle spots the incoming army. Things are about to heat up here. As the Lings poke forward. A little bit too far forward. Roaches come in now. See no third base. But Jaco continues to move forward. That Void Ray and Oracle should focus the Ravager. Jaco coming forward. Takes out a Stalker. But now he's leaving. He could stutter step and take out that Zealot. That's what he does. Goes back, throws another Vial, but the Void Ray and Oracle are putting up too much damage on this force, plus the Immortals. The Immortal and Stalkers. It's just not a good move out here from Jaco. Pushed into a 2-base Protoss with an army that was not very technical. And without Roach speed, Jaco was not able to run away in time. And now Shaky is trying to continue with this momentum forward. It's not a huge Protoss army, but Jaco really doesn't have much left after losing those forces. But hold that thought. Some reinforcements are coming out now. Lings and Roaches are doing work here. Barrier has been activated on the Immortals. And Shaky is being repelled back. The Void Ray, though, is doing work. But should be focus firing that Ravager. The Ravager has gone off a lot of DPS. It could have been killed very quickly with some focus fire earlier on. And now Shaky is going to continue to move in here. The Oracle taking fire from the Spore. Jaco's got his back to the wall. The Queen goes down. More Roaches coming forward here. But the Immortal and the Void Ray are able to do work on this low Roach count. And look at this. Finally, Shaky's Immortal has been taken out. The Void Ray killing off another Roach. Worker count about even. Shaky's trying to take out this third base as the Spore comes forward now. Speaking of third base, Shaky has not planted his own third base behind this attack. Which is kind of a huge oversight. Very late, pooling 1.3k mineral. And similarly, Jaco could probably take a 4th and a 5th. He's pulling 1.5k mineral. Roach Ling here from Jaco. You know, if this Roach Ling moves across the map, it could possibly force a cancel on that third base. But Jaco does need an answer for that Void Ray in the air. It's just been going to town. 13 kills. I anticipate a Hydro Den is going to come up for Jaco soon. Yep, he's building a Hydro Den and a Baneling Nest. Getting to attack. He's got 1 Carapace. And we see the pings here. Which is me signifying that these bases could be taken from Jaco. These locations would be great for a hatchery. Jaco's pooling 2k. But he's moving across the map now. Roach Ling. He knows that Shaky's got a Void Ray in the air, so why not wait for those Hydras to come into the fray? And we see here some lag happened in the game. But we are resuming. as the players chatted it out. Ling's now coming in. But Shaky's force looks pretty solid. I don't think this Roach Lings is going to be able to do much. And once again, Jaco is repelled, scrambling back. And the Roaches are caught out. They are slow Roaches, no Roach speed even. So the getaway is going to be tough for Jaco. As he picks off a couple Zealots on the retreat. That was a good move. But once again here, these bases need to be taken from Jaco. He's been on 3 base for a long time. He got his 3rd base up in time, but now 7 minutes have gone by, and he's only now taking a 4th base, which he could double up on and build a 5th. 10 drones also on the way for Jaco. So he's really trying to power up that economy. 65 drones to 54 probes. But a Protoss with 3 base saturation is something that starts to get scary. They can get towards a maxed out army with the superior technicality. Perhaps get a lead here. But once again, I think the macro has improved a little bit from Jaco compared to last season. He's doing a better job getting drones out. As he moves this army across the map here, I would really like to see some lurkers added to this army as more of these Roaches die out as this game continues. But Jaco, he's got plans for immediate success, immediate destruction, it looks like. Yeah, he's moving that force now up the ramp. He's going to once again try to headbutt into this 3rd base, takes out a pylon. Jaco moving forward. Shaky building some Archons on the right side as the army moves up north. And Jaco's getting a free pickoff on these Archons. Shaky pulls the probes even. And the Archon's pathing is screwed up. Doesn't even get a shot off. 2 Archons went down for free there. Now so many probes are going down. Jaco microing back. Pretty well. He's taken out a lot of probes here. This is some good value for Jaco. And now the Void Rays have to watch out for this Hydra count. And Shaky been rendered defensive. He's building a 2nd battery, trying to warp in some Zealots. He knows that Jaco is going to want to continue his assault. More reinforcements coming across the map, and Jaco doubling down on Roaches here. And if we look at this Roach Warren, only now is Roach speed almost done. Better late than never. It's going to be ready for this next battle, it looks like, as Jaco is amassing another wave of Roach Hydra, Ravager, outside of Shaky's expansion here. And if you look at the banks, Jaco really has a lot more money saved up. That superior worker count he's had for most of the game is really paying dividends here as he's able to remax, while Shaky just sitting at 130 supply here. And this is a big Roach Hydra force. Jaco coming in now, throwing some files down. I like this play from Jaco as the Void Ray is actually punishing Jaco, and Jaco's actually moving back. I thought he was going to commit there. As long as Jaco can get a decent concave, I like his odds. Wisely taking down the rocks now to expand the surface area. Shaky really needs to micro well, use that battery overcharge. Shaky now coming forward. The concave is not really there for Shaky's army. He moved the army to the left, and now it's fighting out of a rather narrow choke, and Jaco actually has a superior concave in my opinion. Vials coming down, raining on top of Stalkers, and there's only Immortals left. There's nothing to protect these Immortals, and the Roach Hydra is getting on top of this as Shaky is trying to micro back to these batteries, but the energy is running down. Vials come down on top of the batteries, and oh my god, is Jaco going to break the Season 1 BSL champion here? More Zealots coming into the mix. Some Roaches are DPSing extractors. They got to be careful. Focus on the units first. But it might not matter as Jaco finishes off the Zealots and looks like he's going to take out this 3rd base. And look at Shaky supply just plummeting. He really has nothing behind this. 2 Immortals are coming out from the double Robo. But his army has been effectively reset here. He only has 1 Observer and now 6 Zealots. And Shaky's not giving up. He's sending those Zealots, warping them across the map. They're coming in here, trying to take out these Queens. Leaves that one queen alive. Okay, now he takes it out. Taking out some drones here. Shaky's a fighter. He doesn't want to give up so easily. He's got confidence in his game, but Jaco is not taking the bait on the other side of the map. He's going for the kill shot here. The shield battery could really use an overcharge. That's what Shaky really needs. But regardless, I don't think it's enough. Overcharge or no overcharge, and these two immortals are microing back on top of the ramp. It's the only thing that Shaky has here. Even a accidental swarm host was built for good measure. Why not throw that locust out there? And I think this is GG. Jaco really showed with his improved macro. He can rally up a pretty scary